Welcome to 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming with your hosts, Taylor
and Q.
Nuclear launch detected.
90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming does not represent the views of WWSP, 90 FM, or the University of Wisconsin school system. The views expressed and the information given in this broadcast can be used at the sole risk of the listener.
Listening to this broadcast is guaranteed to increase your wisdom by 5 points.
The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
Hey, listen!
Hello, and welcome to our show. We are 90 Terabytes of Alternative Gaming with your hosts. This is me, Taylor, alongside
Q.
And I am slightly out of breath.
Yes, you are. You did sprint really fast to get back over here.
Yes.
But yes, this is 90 Terabytes Alternative Gaming. We are a video game talk show. We talk about video games,
Indeed
video game
we do.
communities, to anything video game related. I mean, movies that are video game related.
People who are video game related.
Yeah, we talk pretty much everything video games. And to mention that, our opinions are purely our own, and they can be wrong. Very wrong.
Though I gotta say, we have not really had any glaring mix-ups since the first one.
Yep, the first episode's the only time we've ever been blatantly wrong.
Which I'm proud of.
Everybody was wrong. So,
everybody was wrong, yes.
Yeah, so the people who are reporting the news firsthand
they failed
were
us.
wrong. So.
We didn't fail you, they failed us.
But our opinions are purely our own. They do not reflect WWSP 90 FM, the radio station you're currently listening to, the UW Board of Regents, UW Stevens Point, the campus we're currently on. Yeah.
Anybody else,
the state
honestly.
of Wisconsin.
Notch.
Cliffy B. Notch.
Cliffy B. He hates that.
I know, that's why I'm going to say it. Yeah, these opinions are purely our own. But other than that, we can get right into the stories.
Yes,
you have the stories
sir.
in front of you,
I have some of the
and
stories.
I have some of the other stories in front of me.
What do we want to start with ripping on GameStop? Because I kind of hate GameStop, and it's like ripping on EA for me. It's just kind of a straw man.
We should mention, this show is brought to you by Tech Lounge and Gaming Generations.
Yeah,
Points.
That's right. So officially, actually.
Yep. We are brought to you by both of them. Both fantastic establishments here in Stevens Point. I will tell you their addresses at the end of the show, because that's pretty much all we can do.
I think that is all we can do. We can say that Gaming Generations is a competitor to GameStop.
Yes.
And now I'm just going to trash talk GameStop. So it's kind of like advertising.
Well, we would have done it if we hadn't.
Exactly. It's a total bank shot on advertisement is what this is. All right. Anywho, GameStop's being jerks because they are opening up all their copies of Day X and taking out the free game code inside of it for being used on OnLive, because they say OnLive is a competing game service and they refuse to help them.
That's probably how much they probably don't like Steam and etc.
I would assume so, but I don't know if GameStop realizes they're a parasite. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know many people who go to GameStop for new games at all. I think GameStop is
I go
almost
there
exclusively...
only if I really want a hard copy of the game.
I guess. I don't know. It just... Yeah. I don't know. It's so dumb to me to see that. To see a company that, I mean,
because nowadays you pretty much download the game before it's even out, and then the day it comes out, then it's activated on your computer. I mean, that's how it was with Portal. I wanted the free, and I got a free game, so I mean, it worked out for me going to get Portal too. GameStop. It's a behemoth now.
They're a behemoth, but here's the thing. They're entirely dependent on the video game industry rather than being, I would say, that important to it. And I wish they could recognize that instead of trying to shoulder out everybody else who is another distributor within the industry. It seems like entitlement to me rather than being, a generally good person, which is my philosophy, I guess. Just don't be a jerk.
Yeah, because they really are. I mean, they're actually opening all the copies.
Now, is the free game... I think you can play the same game for free using OnLive. That's all it is.
Well, essentially you're activating it online.
Yeah, how is that competing? They still are buying the game from you. They're buying the game from you, and then
Really?
they just have 2 ways to play it.
That's a really good point.
I don't understand how they could possibly look at this and be like, this is a threat. They're going to buy our game and then play it 2 ways. And then they're never going to come back or something, I guess. I don't know if maybe they think that it's allowing people to get a feel for OnLive, and that once they play OnLive, they're going to be like, hot dang, streaming my games is way better. I'm never going to buy them again.
Oh, no. Yeah, because what they're doing, this is what I'm thinking is happening, is GameStop's taking them out of the packages. So they're opening all these packages, taking out these receipts.
Which, by the way, they shouldn't be able to do.
No,
honestly. there's absolutely no way they should.
Because they're taking the string wrap off. I mean,
exactly,
you're
and
opening...
they should have to sell them as used games now. They should not be allowed to sell them full price because they opened the game. Because that's, I mean, it's absurd to me.
I completely agree with you. But OnLive is a cloud gaming platform, essentially like Steam and etc.
Except it streams them. Yep. That's
but
how I
the
played
games
Amnesia.
are synchronized, rendered, and stored on remote servers. So what's happening is this little certificate they're giving you is allowing you to know about OnLive, and GameStop doesn't want you to know about it.
That's ridiculous. It's like censorship on a certain level. That's absolutely insane to me. I mean, it's not
because
like...
as of recently, over 50 people from 50 gaming companies like Take-Two, Ubisoft, Epic Games, Atari, Codemasters, THQ, all of these guys put their games on OnLive also.
It's not like cable forbids satellite television commercials. I don't understand how this train of thought got far enough to them literally opening up unused
cable's
merchandise.
not forbidding those. That money's going to whatever TV channel or whatever the actual service is.
I guess, yeah.
Channel 7 is going to have that commercial. They're going to get the money, and ABC is going to make that money, not Charter or DirecTV.
All right.
It's a close comparison.
But not quite dead on. Sorry, I don't fully understand the workings of the television industry.
I don't think
totally
anybody
makes
does.
sense. Yeah, that's true.
Does.
Most of the television industry doesn't get it.
The video game industry. Nobody will ever actually fully understand it.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. But OnLive is a pretty brand new service. It was
it's interesting too.
It came out this last year, June 17th, 2011. It's not out in Europe yet. Apparently, comes out Europe on September 22nd of this year.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Weird.
But yeah, there's over 115 games available on the service, and basically you're streaming them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you got a bad computer,
it's honestly like having Netflix. And
yeah, it's actually more like it.
Yeah, it's basically the Netflix of games, and I played Amnesia on it. And
I wonder if I can play OnLive games in the computer lab.
I bet you could. You do have to download a client though. So unless you can't
keep a client on a flash drive.
You could, actually.
I'm gonna try this.
Okay, you should bring that back actually once you're done and see how it worked out, because then 90 FM is gonna get a lot more video games played in it.
Yeah, the radio station doesn't really have that many video games in it.
Also, look what GameStop has done by doing this and making this into a news story. 2 new OnLivers right there, done.
Right there. Wow, GameStop, you kind of lost that one because I didn't even know about the service until you made a big fuss about it.
I can't believe I didn't tell you about that actually. But anyway, yes,
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of this.
Though really, stuff like this is exactly how. Now, I can't even say that this is like something I just remembered or anything. I watched The Social Network, so now I'm talking about all this like I know about it. But that's exactly what happened between Napster and the record industry.
Yeah.
They made a big fuss about this whole thing, and then the record industry got smote in PR, just utterly smote. And now nobody likes, no one has a record store really. I mean, it's a niche market basically.
The one record store in Stevens Point.
Exactly, which actually is a very cool one.
Yes.
Radiocast,
right downtown. Next to the Tech Lounge.
Are we allowed to say
Who's
that?
our sponsor? No.
Oh, next to the Tech Lounge. Yeah,
because Stevens Point.
Okay.
I'm not shelling any advertising. Okay. I'm telling them it's there.
All right. Anything else about this GameStop thing other than the fact that it's just a really dumb move?
Yeah. This is only going to hurt you by doing this GameStop.
I mean, it's such
a
jerk move. Yeah, it's such a huge thing to do to the game. It's like you're literally unwrapping the game and then selling it as a new game. You're selling an open package. That's like if someone opened up the milk and looked in there real quick. They're like, okay, that's good, and then sold it to you instead. I mean,
or somebody opening a loaf of bread, checking each loaf, and then putting it each slice and putting it.
Yeah,
back
making
in the
sure
bag.
that the loaves don't have some form of advertising for Cub if it was a rainbow or something like that. It's ridiculous.
It's completely and utterly ridiculous. But yeah, GameStop, no.
I've really never been happy with GameStop, but whatever. I mean,
they used to be a nice little company.
Kinda. I don't know.
But they got huge. They became an
they
EA.
became monstrous.
They became an EA. They
became bloated.
They became an Activision. They became a Walmart. I mean,
I wouldn't call them a Walmart. I don't think America would crumble without GameStop.
True, but yeah, they're still huge.
Yes. Do we want to talk about the total opposite, where a game distributor is just being really, really cool? Because Steam's actually offering refunds for a game that there was a lot of misconceptions, and by misconceptions I mean an employee of the company lied.
Okay, well, we'll start off.
We'll start what it is. Yes.
The game is called From Dust,
which it was kind of like a black and white kind of game,
or kind of like a populist sort of
your god, here's your village.
And this brand new game came out from Ubisoft. Now, Ubisoft lately has been the
DRM machines. They were the ones for Driver.
They were the ones that when you talk about how bad DRM has become, and we're talking about digital
rights management, right?
Basically, it required you as a player to have a constant internet connection to even play the game.
Yes.
So this is just 100% single player game, I believe.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is actually. It is purely single player, and they were told on the forums by an Ubisoft employee that there would be a one-time check-in kind of thing, where he was just like, here's your CD key,
register the game
put it in,
once.
now you're good.
But they blatantly lied, and then they came out and said on their forums that they're going to patch it out, and then they got rid of that, and then they're just doing this damage control thing through in and throughout.
And Steam finally stood up and said, well, because people were essentially, misinformed, that we will actually offer a refund if you ask for it on From Dust, which is awesome.
And then From Dust comes out and says that we are going to patch it out, even after they've started giving out refunds. Once again, another major company, and that's obviously Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is always the one at the front running for this.
I would not say the front, though, because Diablo is big for this. The newest Diablo is big on DRM.
I know it's big on DRM, but these guys are the front runners that started it.
I guess, yes, I would agree with that.
And EA, kind of a combination between these two companies.
The ones who have the larger, I think, like, monetary investment in gaming, I guess.
Well, yeah, Ubisoft is huge. It's just it. But, yeah. Once again, though, actually, this is the first time I can actually blatantly say that they lied to all their customers who bought the game.
Though, I mean, honestly, like, to give them, like, maybe the benefit of the doubt, it's possible that instead what happened was an EA employee was actually, like, didn't understand it properly and said that. But then you would think that would have been deleted from the forums quite quickly. Like, another mod or something would have seen it and been like, that's not the case. We should probably take that down.
With Ubisoft.
Or, sorry, god dang. Ubisoft. I'm going to say this is EA every time, I'm pretty sure, but Ubisoft would have had a moderator or another employee on the forum look at it and go, that's not true, and it probably would have gotten taken down.
Yeah.
I like to think.
A forum post was made by the employee. It said it would not require an internet connection, but the forum post was taken down, and et cetera, so, yeah. It sucks.
Yes. All right. You pick the next story.
I will pick the next story. We will talk about Diablo 3, because we were talking about DRM. Obviously, out there in the universe, DRM is either good or a bad thing. It's a hit or miss. The first DRM that ever came out was the serial code.
Yeah, the CD key that's on each.
The CD key that came with every piece of software you'll ever buy. No, it doesn't matter if it's a video game. It doesn't matter what it is. This CD key allowed them to make sure that you weren't stealing the game from somebody, or borrowing the game from somebody, or borrowing the piece of software. I mean, I can tell you that if you ever buy a Microsoft product, you'll see a CD key on there that's like 30 numbers and letters long.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
And I would call that probably the least intrusive form too. All it is it's basically ensuring that there is a one sale to one copy of the game ratio, one sale to one copy of the game ratio, and it's a lot different than what we're seeing nowadays in terms of DRM, which with Diablo we've already talked about it actually, what they're doing with it is it's permanently online.
Yep.
And
the game is the game directors even came out and saying that the game is not right if you don't play it online.
Exactly, yeah. He said that you are not playing the game correctly if you are not playing it online. So I'm assuming he just means, I mean, it's going to be, I guess we already said kind of WoWish, but not WoWish at the same time. More like just